Good morning, guys. All right, so it's about 5:05 in the morning, usual time I get here. So we got some shoulders to do today. We're gonna be shooting. I wasn't sure if I was gonna work out today. Having a little tweak in the shoulder, but we're gonna warm it up real good, and just see how it goes. But I think I heard it the other day doing some home construction projects. So we're gonna be heading in here. So shoulders today, and if it's bothering, I'll probably just switch it up with arms. I think I have tomorrow, so I might just do arms today. So we'll see how it goes. We'll weigh in when we get in here today. We're at almost the 2-week mark. Based off what I'm seeing, I think I'm down like 6 pounds, which is good. It's a good little start to the program. So, but we'll see what it looks like when we get in here, and then we'll get at it. All right, guys. So we'll get going here. So what we got. So 222.6. So I think I'm down. So just around 6 pounds. I don't know what I was wearing on that day either, but I'll have to rewatch the original video. I know I had shoes on, but I think I had shorts and a hoodie on, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so we're down about 6, which is actually really good. I'm happy with that number. I haven't even been really perfect. So we haven't added cardio yet to the program at all. We have, it's just been lifting up a tempo and then really just eliminating, I was eating some kind of junk every day. So, give or take. So I just started eliminating that and just kind of watching serving size as well. So that's usually how I start programs, unless I'm doing like hardcore program, which I'm not. This is a lifestyle change. I'm trying to get back to where I was for years. But right now it's just kind of, molding my daily routines back into, healthier habits. So again, it's just kind of eliminating the junk, and just trying to eat kind of more whole foods, if you will. And then I think it was last 2 nights ago, the meal we had, I could have definitely had seconds, and I didn't. I just ate my meal, and that's what I had, and that was it. And I just moved on. I kind of let my body become a little more full over time. I gave it that time to do so, and I did. And then I had some like berries before I went to bed, just like a little handful of them, and that was pretty much it. So it's not real hard, guys. It's just not. You just lay off the junk, and watch your serving sizes and move your body a little more. Okay. So we're gonna get started here. So I think what I am gonna do is I'm gonna switch to arms and some glutes today. I'm gonna save shoulders, and it's like a touch of quads and calves tomorrow. And just because my shoulder is kind of bothering me, it's not bad. It's just I want to let it give it another day here. So, and arms won't really affect that. So, we'll get going with some arms. So this is obviously warm up. So whenever you're hitting biceps, guys, triceps, anytime you're working with a hinge joint, and this is where I see a lot of people screw this stuff up, and this is why they end up having a lot of pain elsewhere. A hinge joint is exactly what it is, okay? So let's imagine you open a door, into a room, and you grab the top of the door and the bottom of the door, and you try and twist the door like this, right? While it's on hinges. It's not gonna go well. So one of two things is gonna happen. Either you're gonna have the door break, or you're gonna bend the hinges, right? You're putting pressure on those hinges. That's what you are doing when you are doing that to your body parts, okay? So your knee joint, your elbow joint, those are both hinge joints. They work in one pattern. So whenever you're trying to, do weird movements, yes, your body can, has the ability to do things, but it doesn't mean it should be done under heavy load. So anytime you're working with your knee joint and your elbow joint, make sure you're right in the middle. So like if I show right here, so I'm taking the middle of my palm down the middle of my bicep and I'm lining that up. That's why you'll see me do curls. I'm actually leaning a little bit and I'm coming up and I have that really good squeeze. The other big thing is scapular retraction, right? Is your ability to get the chest elevated forward here, the scap's retracted, and then that's where it changes. So if I'm coming here, if I turn, you can see I'm still in the middle of my bicep. It's just that my elbows have angled back because my scaps have come together in the back. So little things when you're, incorporating your training to stay safe and to make sure, things are working better. Okay guys, so the other thing you'll notice I'm doing, I'm actually bringing in my lat and dropping my shoulder and pulling my shoulder towards my opposite hip. So if I'm working my right arm, I'm taking my shoulder down and back. Reason for that is I always think of it like this. I'm always trying to lock in whatever I'm working and make that the only thing that's working. That's kind of the game of isolation, right? So if your scap is doing this, well then you're using other stuff to move the weight. So it's gonna have I could do, if I'm doing that, I could probably do 60s on dumbbell curls, 70s on dumbbell curls coming up, and because I'm using my back muscles and leverage to move the weight. Whereas what I wanna do is shoulder down and get that scap locked in, and then I'm coming up and contracting. You'll see there's nothing else moving at this, at this juncture, right? Now, if I may do a drag curl later on, I'll probably shoot those in there. But again, I'm not using a ton of other stuff. So just a little tip. Okay, so another thing you guys can do. So if you're having issues with, let's say, feeling your biceps. So like this is a common thing, especially on your non-dominant hand. So let's say you're doing curls and you just like, dude, I feel my right. I just can't, I cannot connect on my left. Then try supination, guys. So one of the functions of the bicep, and you can watch, you can see kind of, if I pull my sleeve here tight, you can see my bicep move just by twisting my arm. So that's one of the functions of your bicep, is to actually rotate your forearm. So at the top of the motion, you're still in the middle of that bicep, but it's coming up, and then that little motion, right? I would do that more in the beginning. As you're going heavier, obviously it's gonna get a little harder to do, but by that point, maybe get you connected a little bit. All right, guys, so warmed up biceps. Now we're gonna get into triceps. Now, I always warm up biceps first and just get them warm. And then I go into working triceps. What I find is, if I'm working triceps hard and I've already killed my biceps, the issue with that is my biceps, obviously you've got blood flow in there, so I cannot bend my elbow as much as I can when I haven't killed my biceps. So, there's not as much blood flow in there. And your ability to work a muscle is the ability to stretch the muscle and contract the muscle. So if I'm doing a overhead tricep or something like that, and I can only bend my elbow to here because my biceps are so inflated with blood, well then that's an issue, right? Because I'm not gonna get that full range of motion. So warm up for triceps. Similar action here, guys. So I'll kind of show you from the front. So it's making sure that stays right in alignment. If you can get a single rope, it's the best way to do it. Or you can tie a long rope. It's just a little more annoying. But this hits it perfectly. And there's no pain. Again, same rules apply. Back, down, lock those scaps in, and just work right in that range of motion, all the way down to a locked arm, all the way up to a fully bent arm, as far as your arm can bend without moving your elbow location, okay? And that's kind of the key with this one when we're trying to do an isolation style movement, okay? So I'll kind of show you from the side here. So it's shoulders down, back, hinge, but notice my elbow is not moving forward. We're keeping the elbow locked back, okay? So number one question I get with triceps is, how do I work certain heads better than the other ones? So the tricep, I've tried three heads, right? And always like, wow, how do I get the horseshoe part, it comes on the outside of the tricep. And the best way to do that, guys, has nothing to do with, like I'll have a lot of people go, oh, if you go like, out like this at the end. No, it has nothing to do with that. Where your elbow location is it behind your spine or is it in front of your spine? Okay? When your elbow gets back here, you're gonna work that short head a little more, the outside of that head. Beyond that, you're gonna work, your long head, medial head are gonna kind of take over a little more. Okay, so not that you're not working it. So always think of it like you're always working your entire tricep when you're doing a tricep movement, obviously. But if you really want that short head take over, you have to bring that elbow back beyond the spine and then hinge off that. So like doing something like this works, doing like dumbbell throwbacks works, bent over. So it's like here, and then back and throw back, which actually probably might be doing them later. So little things like that, but make sure you get that elbow back for some of the stuff you're working. Another thing, guys. My workouts, sometimes I'll have a program, I always call them whiteboard workouts, so I'll have my program up on the wall. And that's honestly for days that like I come in and I'm mentally fried. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's just, you know, you get kind of burnt out and you got to come up with some new stuff. And on the fly, it helps to have something that you go, you know what, I haven't done that in a while, I should probably work on that kind of stuff. So I'll have my whiteboard workouts. Right now I have kind of a plan up there in terms of what I'm working each day. I don't have exercises on there, but I have how many sets I want to hit and target for that muscle group. But let's say you're doing something and you have 4 sets or 3 sets, right? But you're really connecting with it. Then you know what? Do another set. Like, doesn't really, I mean, go into that, you know, you're fried doing that, right? Now, I'm not saying maybe do like 8 sets, because if you're doing 8 sets, that means you're not really attacking each set properly. It's taking too long to get to that point. But if you need to do an extra set, stick with it, man. Do another set. Who gives a shit? But it does work. You know, if you kind of, some days, some exercise you just connect better with, just keep at it, do it again. All right, guys, so V-bar press downs are probably my bread and butter, my triceps. I always go, obviously, heavy. So I'm at the max for this machine. So hitting a stack. This is a compound movement, guys. So this would kind of be the same as doing close grip barbell press. It's basically the same movement. You're bent over, you get over that bar, get the head next to the cable. So I'm pressing down through here. I have to go higher in rep just because I'm out of weight. And this machine, I can't put like an extra pin in there and like put a plate on. So I just do more reps, which is fine. And I'll control it more. So you'll notice I'll probably go, so I did 20 reps there. What I'll probably do in this next set, take it down to maybe 15. But I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna hold that contraction at the bottom, come up nice and easy, and then go from there. But this is a good compound movement to make sure you're getting a little more power in there, a little heavier movement. So we're gonna end set 2 here. Woo. That burns. Head on each side of the cable, doesn't matter which one you do, guys. Doesn't matter at all. The biggest thing is that you feel it equally in both sides, which is where, like if I had to pick a problem sometimes with this one, because your head's on either side of the cable, you tend to lean into one side more than the other one. So the whole time I'm doing this, I'm so cognizant of trying to make sure I'm equally pressing down with both sides so I can feel the burn on both. If I get done and my right side burns more than my left, I'm not doing it right. So I gotta make sure I'm always pressing equally. So we're gonna hit one more set of these, and then we're gonna get back into a little superset between triceps and biceps, and then we're gonna end with some glutes. All right, guys, so next up, we're gonna hit some lying dumbbell throwbacks. I like to use the bench. Reason being is it locks that spine in and you're not swaying, and I can really concentrate on bringing those elbows back and extending. And I'm doing an underhand grip, so I'm using 8s. These are not heavy, right? Because if you're doing them, first of all, more likely you're not doing them right if you're doing these heavy. But the purpose is to make sure that elbow stays back and you're getting a full contraction, you know, under load at the hardest point of the motion, okay? Where gravity's kind of pulling the most, which is at that 90-degree angle. So we're gonna hit, shoot for 10 to 12 on this one, see how it goes. But just laying flat on the bench, you know, head can be elevated slightly. Make sure we get those elbows up past that spine, and then we extend. Okay, so ladies, if this is uncomfortable for you, best thing I can tell you to do is get an incline bench, bring it down to almost the bottom, get a towel, drape it over the end, and you can put your forehead against there. Okay, so it gives you the space, you know, around the chest area, if you will. So, but it's, you know, more comfortable laying on a bench. You know, for guys, obviously a little easier. But great exercise. Hit those, hit that the short head of the tricep. So next up, we're gonna hit some hammer curls. We're gonna work this part of the up through the bicep, and then we're gonna superset that with some reverse dumbbell curls. So we'll get at it.
For what you need at libertymutual.com. Based on recent survey of new customer acquisition saved, underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, excludes Massachusetts.
Let's face it, this time of year is a lot. Maybe you're looking forward to the holidays, or maybe you struggle with seasonal depression.
Same rules apply on this, guys. Make sure if I turn kind of face, I'm coming right up the middle of that bicep. Okay?
Affordable therapy options, so you can get started quickly. Give yourself a moment of peace. Tap now or visit betterhelp.com/pressplay today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/pressplay.
We're gonna superset with that reverse. So we're gonna come across. So it kind of look like this in the front. Natural bend of that elbow. This is gonna hit that forearm a little more. So as we come across, hit that right on top of that brachialis. I always do a few more reps on my left. I have trouble with connecting with my left bicep just totally, period. And I've had some injuries with that guy over the past, year. So I'm trying to play a little catch up with size and strength. So that's a little tip too, guys. If you have a lagging bipart, if you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, my right leg's bigger than my left, or like my calf on my left is smaller than my right, because I tore fibers in there. So 2 years ago on my birthday, actually. So But if you're having a lagging body, do a couple extra reps. That's why you'll notice a lot of stuff I do is single arm, okay, or single leg style exercises, because it just helps with kind of connecting your body to the motion a little better. So, all right, so we're gonna get back to some throwbacks, and then so I'm gonna hit those sets, and then we're gonna go hit some glutes here, okay? All right, guys, so last exercise of the day, we're hitting just some glutes. So I hit glutes mainly on leg day. That's my, the day where I really kind of annihilate my entire lower body. But then what I do is I have, you have different types of muscle fibers, right? You have fast twitch, slow twitch, and then you have frequency, efficiency for each body part, right? So like quads is really something you should hit maybe probably twice a week if it's something that you feel is lagging. You just have to space it appropriately. And like chest is something that you really should only probably work once a week. Arms, yes, you work it through working on the body parts, obviously, but like I only have one arm day, and actually that's recent for me. I hadn't had an arm day, just straight up arm day, for probably a year or so. So, but my glutes should be done about twice a week as well. And glutes are huge, man, for me especially, because it's one of the biggest things when it comes to making sure my hips are stabilized, because I have a lot of lower back problems. Okay, so on this day, on the secondary days, I'm looking to stimulate the muscle. Okay, I'm not looking to annihilate the muscle. So all I'm simply doing here is I'm going to stay nice and upright, and I'm just doing some abductions that I have. I don't have a abduction machine. I don't really think you need one, honestly. I don't think they're that great of a machine, but they do their job. But a band can easily do the same thing, if not better. And it's very intentional, which I like. So it's just sitting nice and upright, core is tight. This is as close as my knees come, right? So it's a tight band, it's around my thighs. It can go below your knee, but you can start to cheat a little bit with that as it moves further down the shin, because your knees can start to come out and the band not expand. So this forces the band to expand on the motion. But I'm just looking to get about 15 to 20 reps. And again, I'm just stimulating the glutes here. This exercise is really a good one to help get the striations on the side, if you care about that as you get leaner, which eventually I will care about that. I'm always debating whether I want to compete again or not. So, and right now I'm in that mode where I'm trying to get back into where I was. So, but for now it's just getting back in shape and just doing the basic movements and getting back into habits, which I have struggled with over the past year. But again, design of workout is everything, and it's hard because schedules change, like yesterday, I have actually a client of mine that's offered to do some videoing for me, which is great. It's awesome. And she's been my client for a while now. The issue with me is my schedule's always changing. So, if I have time open up and I can sleep in for once, then I'm going to do it. So we will definitely get, her and I will definitely hook up and we'll shoot some content, and it'll just be better because it'll be more fluid. You'll kind of see the pace of my workout better instead of it being like a take here and a take here because I have to, change a camera angle or whatever to talk or to show something. So I can just have her kind of move around for me. But today I wasn't sure if I was working out because of my shoulder. So definitely don't want to have someone get up at 4 o'clock in the morning for no reason. So, but we got it in. That's another thing, guys. When you got an injury going on, be careful with it. Don't be an idiot, you know what I mean? But there's, 1,000 ways to skin a cat or whatever it is, right? So skip that body part or do stuff that feels okay. Just go lighter, be more controlled. Don't be stupid. Don't,
tear something just because you're frustrated. Let the thing heal, you know? I'm 38, I'll be 39 in 2 months, and this stuff happens more often. Ironically, it rarely happens in the gym. It's always doing, stuff at home. But, home projects and construction projects where I actually hurt myself the most. But it happens, right? So really what it comes down to is just make sure you're being safe about it. And do your best to work around it. And that's all you can do. But don't stop moving. There's no reason to stop moving. If I tear something, you're out for good. So just work something else. Get the body moving, stimulate some muscle for that day. And it may not be the best workout, but it's still a workout. But a workout is better than sitting on the couch at home and doing nothing, okay? So we're gonna hit 10 more here, and then we'll go get our protein in and start our morning. I don't have a real busy morning today, but got about 6 sessions this morning, and then we'll start the weekend, but also work Saturday. So have a good weekend then, guys. Hopefully tomorrow I can shoot some content with shoulders and show you guys what I do for that. It's my favorite body part other than back. So we'll get it in and see what we can do. Have a good day, guys.